Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, another title in the SAT about how we can solve a system of equations, two equations. The first one is a linear of first degree, and the second one is a quadratic of second degree. And we have only one method to solve this kind of system of equation. Let's start with the first example. Usually in SAT, it gives you the equations as y equal and y equal. And all what you have to do, since it's y equal and y equal, is to write the two equations equal to each other. So x squared minus x minus 5 is equal to x minus 2. Then I'm going to move the x and negative 2 to the left side. So it's going to be x squared minus x. Positive x will be minus x. Negative 5 and negative 2 will be positive 3, equal to 0. So it's x squared minus negative 1 and negative 1 by adding the like terms is minus 2x. Minus, this is positive 2, minus 3 is equal to 0. Now, usually, if this is section 3 without using calculator, you are not allowed to use calculator. All what you have to do is to factorize. And it's going to be a simple factorization. Last sign here is negative. So one is positive and the other one is negative. X and x. Now I'm looking for two numbers, their product is 3. So 1 and 3. Difference between them is 2. So it's exactly 1 and 3. What is the greatest? 3. Take the sign of the middle, and the middle is negative. And here is 1. So I have one of two solutions. X plus 1 is equal to 0. So x here is equal to negative 1. Or x is minus 3 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 3. As we can see in the answer D, that x is equal 3 and x is equal negative 1. So directly the answer is D. But if you wanted to make sure that the right answer is D, you can replace y. Here, replacing x with negative 1. So negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3. So it's negative 1 with negative 3, as we can see. And y is equal x, which is 3 minus 2, which is equal to 1. Mr. Hisham, why you choose to replace the answer of x in the first equation? Because it's much easier than replacing x in the quadratic equation. Again, to solve the two equations, one of first and one of second, all what you have to do is to write the two equations equal to each other. Then you form an equation equal to 0. Then you factorize and figure out the value of x. And then if it's need, you need to figure out the value of y. Regarding question number 2, we can see that y plus x is equal 6, and this is a linear equation as y and x first degree. And as you can see, x squared, so this second or quadratic equation or second degree equation. To solve this equation, I'm going to arrange this one as y is equal 6 minus x by moving positive to the other side. And this equation y is equal. So I can write that x squared minus 2x minus 6 is equal to 6 minus x. Then I'm going to move these two terms to the left-hand side. So x squared minus 2x plus x as it's negative, minus 6 as it's positive here, equal to 0. So it's x squared. Negative 2 and positive 1 give me negative 1x. Negative 6 and negative 6 is negative 12, equal to 0. Factorize. I am looking for two numbers, their product is 12. 1 by 12, 2 by 6, 3 by 4. But the difference between them is 1. So for sure, I'm going to choose 3 and 4. So it's x minus 4 as the greatest number 4. Take the sign of the middle. And x plus 3 equal to 0. So x is equal 4. If it's minus, become positive. And if it's positive, become negative. So the two values of x are 4 and negative 3. So the answer are 4 and negative 3. And I don't have to figure out the value of y. This is how to solve the question in SAT. Question number 3 is ready to solve. I have y is equal linear equation. I have y is equal 5x squared quadratic equation. So since y and y, I don't write y. I just write that 5x squared is equal to minus 3x. I'm keeping 5x squared on the left-hand side, I'm moving -3 to the other side, it's going to be +3. And moving +2 to the other side is going to be -2. That is equal to 0. Then I'm going to open two brackets. I am sure that 5x is a prime number, 1 by 5. And 2 is a prime number, 2 by 1. So it's 5x and 1x, 2 and 1, or 5x and 2 and 1x and 1. How I can solve it? By using the mean and the extremes. 1x and +10 or -10, difference between them will be 9. So this is not the target. But 2x and 5x, difference between them is 3. Difference between them is 3. So which is the greatest, 2x or 5x? The greatest 5. So take the sign of the middle. So this is positive and this is negative. So I have to bracket 5x minus 2 is equal to 0 and x plus 1 is equal to 0. So x here is equal to -1 and 5x is equal to 2. So x is equal to 2 over 5. This one is the answer. Why? Because it says here that x is greater than 0. And don't forget that inside the grid, we don't have a negative value. Even if it doesn't say that x is greater than 0, I will never choose x is equal to -1, as in that grid, I don't have a negative sign. I don't have a negative sign. Y minus 5 over 3 is equal 15, and y is equal x minus 5 squared. This is a quadratic equation. I need first to solve this equation. 3 multiplied 15 is 45. So y minus 5 is equal to 45. By moving negative to the other side, it's going to be positive. So y is equal to 15. Now, I can say that this equation, x minus 5 squared plus 1 is equal to 50. First, I will move the positive to the other side as negative. So x minus 5 squared is equal to 49. All what I have to do is to think of a number that its square is equal 49. And for sure, this number is 7. So what inside the bracket should be 7? As we know that 7 squared is equal to 49. By moving -5 to the other side, so x is equal to 12. Notice that I'm supposed to say that x minus 5 is equal -7, as -7 squared also is equal 49. But we are refusing the negative value, as x is a positive value. So the answer is 12.